Well, hello again today, Golden Eagles. I'm in downtown Hattiesburg on a gorgeous Go-Go Friday. Did you know that USM has an annual economic impact on Mississippi of more than $600 million? So not only is the university one of our area's largest employers, but our arts and athletic events attract thousands of visitors to the region. Our research enterprise brings the best and brightest from all over the world to South Mississippi, where our faculty and students make discoveries every day that improve lives in our state, our region, and our country. And while those impacts extend well beyond the hub city, USM is most influential close to home. And so today I'm talking with three men who are passionate not only about the city of Hattiesburg, but about the University of Southern Mississippi. New Mayor Toby Barker and new council members Jeffrey George and Nicholas Brown are all Southern Miss alumni and all new to their roles in city government. So they know Hattiesburg and they know our university well, and they all have ideas on how best to take both the hub city and Southern Miss to the top. So I hope you enjoy this Southern Miss story. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I appreciate your willingness to do this.
Absolutely, glad to. Yeah.
So let's talk about the city of Hattiesburg and what's new in Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg always has something to do. There's always someone new to meet. There's always something new to experience, and I think that's a byproduct of having a university here like Southern Miss and so many other talented people that come from that university. And so we're excited about the future. I mean, Hattiesburg has a lot of infrastructure investments that are on the way now. We have development of new areas like Midtown. Our city is #1 in job creation in Mississippi right now, and we're excited about the future.
So for all three, we started in July here. What has been the response of the people of Hattiesburg? And we'll start with Nick.
Well, my ward, Hattiesburg, we've had a great response. They're happy to have some new blood. They're happy to have some young, energetic people on the council in the mayor's spot. In my ward, I've got good feedback. Got a lot of people telling me I'm doing a good job, telling me they're happy that I'm in the seat, and I'm just doing a good job communicating with my ward, with the people in my ward, citizens.
What are your hopes for Ward 5?
Well, like the mayor said, we want a lot of infrastructure improvements. We want job creations. Main thing is just communication, because if we're not communicating well with the citizens and they're not communicating with us, we don't know what to do. So really communication, infrastructure, we want to create jobs and just make the people happy.
Well, I think it's important to say that our relationship did not start on July 3rd when we officially took office. I mean, I remember at a football game two years ago, Nick rode up in a golf cart before I went into the stadium and said, "I'm thinking of running for city council."
I was walking. I went in a cart.
You sure went in a cart? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember at a football game 2 years ago, and Nick walked up to me before I went to the stadium and told me he was thinking of running for city council. And I remembered Nick from my time at Southern Miss as a student. Jeffrey and I were fraternity brothers, and as chapter advisor for that fraternity, I watched him develop as he went through his undergraduate career, and as soon as he finished his undergraduate career and stepped into grad school, he had an opportunity to run for city council. And now he is someone that I think, aside from the historical fact of him being the youngest councilman in history of the city of Hattiesburg, I think he is someone that every Southern Miss student should look to in terms of what their possibilities are, because he is their, not only is their voice and their advocate, but as someone who embodies what Southern Miss and Hattiesburg can do for a person.
And I guess to speak to that a little bit, I mean, someone like myself that came to Hattiesburg knowing all of 10, 15 people as a freshman, and just the opportunities to just immerse yourself in the organizations that Southern Miss has to offer and the programs that we have to offer, that was what I feel like took me to the next level and gave me the opportunities that I had, even as a freshman, to just get involved in so many different things and learn what true leadership is. And like I said, as someone that knew so few people, to turn around and be elected SGA president at one time, but then be able to serve in an office in this city and represent Hattiesburg in a way, it shows not only what Southern Miss can do for people, but what this city has to offer and what Hattiesburg can do for people that choose to invest in it and make it their home.
Nick, you were a student from 2001 to 2004 at Southern Miss alumnus.
Yes, sir.
What do you remember most about your Southern Miss experience?
Well, it was fun times. I probably had a little more fun than I should have. You know, wasn't in the books as tough as I should have been. But I think that, you know, Southern Miss is a backbone of Hattiesburg. It plays a major key in Hattiesburg. And like Toby and Jeffrey said, we want students when they get done to reside in Hattiesburg, you know, buy a home, live here. I think that without the university, the city wouldn't be what it is. And I've been here my entire life, so I've watched the university grow, I've watched the city grow, and I see a lot more potential. And I just like the way things are going, the way they're headed.
So growing up in this area, you've obviously, like you said, seen the university grow. What do you remember most about, as a young person, the university, and what do you see there today?
Well, as a young person, I know my dad would take me to ball games. He's also USM alumni, but I've seen how large it's got. You know, from when I was a young kid, and all the nice buildings that have come up around the campus. But I've just seen it grow. You know, mainly the growth.
So, what is the best part of the city of Hattiesburg story, and the best part of Southern Miss's story?
Well, for me, Southern Miss is the kind of institution, and Hattiesburg is the kind of city that have had to earn everything they've ever received. If you look at just the history of Southern Miss, no one wanted us here in the first place. I mean, it was a very narrow vote to even create the university. There was no appropriation tied to when the university was created in 1910. But it was 3 landowners here in Hattiesburg, and then Hattiesburg and Forest County made a bid, and the university was put here. And since it opened its doors in September of 1912, the legislature has tried to close us 2 or 3 times. And so knowing that, every person who walks across the stage at Southern Miss should know that just like their university earned everything with grit and determination and character, we should embody that character as we go on throughout our lives. We should take on that Southern Miss spirit and live into that story and live into that character. And for me, that means we try harder every time, whether we have to or not. We have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder everywhere we go, but we behave ourselves and conduct ourselves with a certain grace that a Southern Miss person would do. And so I think the Hattiesburg way and the Southern Miss way is that. It's a character that's willing to work a little harder, try a little more, go the extra mile every time, and that's what I want to see our city do.
So finish this sentence for me. Southern Miss is?
A great place to be.
Jeffrey?
Life-changing.
Dang it, man.
You want him to go back?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Southern Miss is the greatest 2 or 3 square miles on earth. Everything that I have had the opportunity to be part of came because of Southern Miss. I moved to Hattiesburg because of Southern Miss. I went into public service because of my time at Southern Miss. I met my wife because I came to Hattiesburg, because I came to Southern Miss. And the people and the experiences that Southern Miss afforded me truly gave me direction, gave me purpose, and gave me a life.
Jeffrey?
I think for me, you know, when I got to Southern Miss, I had a handful of people, and a few specifically, that took me under their wing and showed, you know, through them taking the time to invest time in me, invest life lessons in me, they taught me the importance of doing that to others. And I think that was a huge thing that I took away from my experience at Southern Miss, is how important the people aspect is. And that's something that I feel like we value so much at Southern Miss, is that it's about the people and what is their story and how is our university going to impact their story. And so I think that you know, having the opportunity, you know, some Dr. Paul and Dr. Bennett and Dr. Eddie Holloway and some of those people that were influences in my life during my time there, they taught me some lessons that now in public service mean more than anything, and they're very important to me and guide me through the decisions that I make and the way I communicate with people and the way I value what people have to say and you know, what's going on in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Nick?
And yeah, the Southern Miss experience, it matured me, and like the mayor and Jeffrey said, we had great mentors. From one particular, Dr. Holloway, it helped me to grow as a person, business-wise. It helped me in that area, and it's good to know that we can still go back to these mentors if we need them for for guidance or reassurance on things that we're moving forward with. And I just really enjoyed Southern Miss.
And I know you're very focused on collaboration and working with other city leaders to make for the best Hattiesburg.
Well, I think that we've transitioned to a point where you now have 3 millennials, 2 in the council, 1 in the mayor's office, and so really truly collaborating, like I think is a hallmark of our generation, trying to learn from each other, really work together to do things and not try to run over people. I think that's been very positive in the first few months of this new term, because I want what's best for Ward 5, I want what's best for Ward 1, and we approach government that way. When people can see a group of people, not only these 2 councilmen, but the other 3 truly working for what's best for the entire city and what's best for their individual wards, I think we bring a better, more positive product of government in a time when people aren't really believing in their government institutions. And so our goal, I think, is to really show a positive view of how government can work, even if there's gridlock at the state capitol or gridlock in Washington, and really trying to bring that sort of transparency and practicality and authenticity to leadership at the local level.
We may disagree on things, and even in a council meeting, we may not vote the same way, but we are able to walk out of a meeting and we're friends, and we're there saying that we have the best interests of Hattiesburg at mind. And I think that's one of the most important things that in today's day and age, we may not all agree on everything, but if you have that best interest of our community in mind and the best interests of Southern Miss or whatever it may be that you're working towards, that's the most important part. And that's something that we can assure people that your elected officials here in Hattiesburg, we have the absolute best interests of our city at mind, and we're working every single day to accomplish that.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time to talk with us today. And as I always like to say, Southern Miss
To the top.